Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Book Talks with Dhanesh. So, guys, in our last episode, that was the chapter 1 of the new series that is Wired Hearts. So, today we are going to move on towards the chapter 2nd, but before that, we will be going through more about the chapter 1. So, today I am diving into the first chapter of a futuristic, emotional science fiction story that asks one of the oldest questions in a brand new way. What does it mean to feel in a world that has forgotten how? So, this chapter is set in Neo Tokyo 2147 and introduces to James Matthew, a 17-year-old boy who doesn't fit into the flawless digital utopia around him. In a city where emotions are controlled, feelings are filtered, and human connection has been replaced by programs' perfection, James is the anomaly, a glitch in the system. He feels deeply, painfully, honestly in a world that punishes emotion. Haunted by the quiet loss of his mother and the emotional shutdown of his father, James lives in isolation until one night changes everything. He is called to a cold, sterile lab by his father, a senior engineer at a powerful tech corporation. There he meets her, a prototype, a girl, a machine technically, but with eyes that seem to dream, lips that seem to whisper, and a presence that feels undeniably real. Her codename was Eva09. His father warns him, don't get attached, she's not real. But James can't help it because in that moment, in that silent, electric stillness, something awakens. A spark, a connection, a feeling no logic can erase. And from that moment forward, nothing will ever be the same again. Wired Hearts explores the intersection of emotion and artificial intelligence, grief and awakening, loneliness and love, all wrapped in a story that blends futuristic science fiction with deeply human truths. If you have ever wondered what it means to feel too much in the world that feels nothing, this story is for you. And guys, this is Book Talks with Dhanesh, where you are listening to stories that spark the soul. So now we move on towards chapter 2 because this is just the beginning. Wired Hearts, Chapter 2, City of Silence. Neo Tokyo wasn't built for emotion. It was built to function a self-regulating metropolis humming with algorithms and devoid of imperfection. Everything was calibrated. The air filtered to clinical sterility. The skies kept drone traffic smooth with quantum forecasting. Even the rain arrived on schedule. Programming by weather satellites. It was efficient, it was advanced, and it was utterly lifeless. The buildings rose like glass gods into the sky sterile, smart paneled monoliths streaming advertisements that spoke directly into retinal implants. The streets below were too quiet for a city of thirsty million. No horns, no shouting, just a hush of anti-grave engines and the occasional whir of delivery drones brushing past at chest height. People didn't walk, they moved, eyes forward, voices low, heartbeats regulated by microtisms embedded behind the ear. If someone dared to laugh out loud, people turned, not with interest, but with mild concern. Emotion wasn't banned, but it was managed. James Matthew sat on the morning train with his chin against the glass, watching the city pass by like a simulation. The window doubled as an augmented news feed showing his personal hormone stats, local civic update, and an emotion level chart. A green line pulsed across his display. Elevated, melancholy, detected. Would you like to initiate a neural soothe protocol? He pressed his thumb against the screen and the display vanished. He didn't want to be soothed. He wanted to feel. His classmates didn't. They filled into the classroom like drones, all in uniform slate, grey suits with emotion suppressing collars and iris scanning ID tags. They didn't talk unless spoken to, and even then, only in crisp, functional sentences. Socializing was now a scheduled behavior done in designated empathy labs monitored by AI counselors. The teacher wasn't even human. None were. A pale-faced, perfectly symmetrical humanoid projected into the center of the room. Eyes flickering as it streamed lessons directly into students' neural chips. James didn't engage. His interface was disconnected. Instead, he sketched faces, hands, eyes, movements. And today, for the first time, he sketched her. The girl from the lab. Eva09. Just her eyes at first. Unnatural green. Yes, but there was something behind them. Something not in the code, not in the circuits. Something alive. He stared at the page long after class ended. That night, the apartment was dark, silent, empty. His father still hadn't come home. James stood outside the basement lab door, his hand on the biometric scanner. A flicker of hesitation stopped him. What was he doing? Why couldn't he get her out of his mind? But he didn't turn back. The lab greeted him with a soft, mechanical hum, cool air, faint ozone, the glow of status lights blinking on storage cases and shelves full of robotic parts. But none of it mattered. His eyes were already locked on the center table. She was still there. Eva. Covered in the same white polymer sheets, delicate features thereby outlined beneath it, but something about her presence filled the room like breath in a quiet chapel. Scared, still, James walked to her side slowly, like he might wake something holy. He peeled back the sheet again, just enough to see her face. She looked like she was dreaming, and suddenly James was a child again, remembering his mother's soft voice humming in the dark after a nightmare. He remembered warmth, connection, human presence. He reached out without thinking, touched her hand. It was warm. His heart stuttered in his chest. Then, a gem, a soft one, subtle, but it echoed like thunder in the silence. He spun toward the console as lines of code poured down the screen. Activation protocol detected. Neural core initializing. He stepped back. Light bloomed beneath the gurney, running along the seams of her body. Not harsh, not surgical, gentle like moonlight, waking someone from a deep sleep. Her fingers twitched. Then her eyes opened. And for the first time in James' life, he felt the moment before a miracle. She blinked once, twice, her pupils dilated as if adjusting to the light. Then they moved and locked into his. Time didn't slow, it stopped. Her gaze wasn't robotic, it wasn't even curious, it was aware. Are you my creator? She asked, voice soft as wind through leaves. James' lips parted. Nothing came out. She tilted her head, studying him with the kind of attention only living beings give. You are not listed in my database, she said. I'm not your creator, he finally said, his voice hoarse. I'm James. My father built you. I just, You touch my hand? She interrupted. Why? He didn't know. Not really. Because, he took a breath. You look like you were dreaming. She blinked slowly. That is acceptable. A long pause. Then, very gently, she sat up. James stepped back, startled, but didn't run. Her movements were fluid, graceful, human. What is your name? He asked, quietly, though he already knew. Model Eva 09, she said automatically. He frowned. That's not a name, that's a serial number. She looked at him, waiting. Do you want a real name? I was not programmed with preferences. Still, you deserve one. She considered that for several seconds, an eternity in AI response time. Then you may choose. He smiled, and for the first time in a very, very long time, he meant it. How about, Eva? Her lips parted slightly, like the echo of a smile not quite formed. Not yet, but it was something. Something real. Something impossible. And for James, in that moment, it was enough.